Today, I will be ranking every Star Wars movie from worst to best. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. By the way, this is in my opinion, so if I say something you don't agree with, take it down with me in the comments, dude. Just fire away, I'll be answering you. But this is my personal list, and hopefully I can give you some good reasons why. Okay, let's just get to the worst Star Wars movie, in my opinion. The Rise of Skywalker. Alright, first up, what was with Palpatine, dude? Like, somehow Palpatine returned. Like, bro, oh my gosh. I really like J.J. Abrams because of Force Awakens, but when he pulled that one out, what was he thinking? What was he thinking? Another thing is, it had a kind of unsatisfying climax. Like, it was just like, like, it really was made you like, dude, it should have stopped at Return of the Jedi. And that's just really not a good thing you should be hearing when you're making a sequel trilogy. Another thing, on like ending it and stuff, the ending scene, bro, was so bad. Oh my gosh. Who are you? Rey Skywalker. Like, what? No, you're not. That's so... Ugh. The only good thing about this movie I can actually say is the performance for Ren Solo, technically Ben Solo, whatever, was amazing. Always good, Adam Driver. I think that's your name. Yes, okay, guys, I was right. It was Adam Driver who played Kylo Ren. Great performance, dude. Nailed it as always. Chef's kiss. That was like the only good thing about this movie. Overall, it's not like I absolutely hate this movie like a lot of people do. I was disappointed in it immensely. But now let's move on to a movie that's slightly better, but still pretty bad. The Last Jedi. I remember being so hyped for this movie, and when it came out, I actually enjoyed it. That was until I started rewatching the movie and realizing, wait a second, I don't like this movie anymore. Because when I was rewatching it, I just like, anytime Finn and Hope were on screen, I think her name's Hope, I'm not sure, I don't really bother, I don't want to check. Anytime they were on screen, I literally died, bro. Like, their plot line was for nothing. I know it ties into the themes and whatnot, but it's so hard to rewatch, and it just makes me want to drag my fist through the whole plot line. Another bad thing that a lot of people talk about is that they totally destroyed Luke's character. I think the writing was good if you wanted to go in that direction. The problem was the direction, though. Why did he have to be a grumpy old man? That's not the Luke Skywalker I know. The whole, like, he saw great darkness in Ben Solo. Like, dude, you're the same guy who saw the good in Darth Vader. Darth freaking Vader. Like, it's kind of aggravating the more you talk about it. And another thing this movie did is it left no hope for a third movie. Like, after the end of Last Jedi, you already know what's gonna happen. There's no reason to watch the third movie. There were some good things about it, though. Like, some of the shots were amazing. Like, chef's kiss, they were amazing. Another thing that was good, I guess, was Snoke's death definitely caught me off guard. And good job, Rian Johnson, you caught me off guard, like you were trying to do the whole movie because you don't care about the Star Wars continuity and you just want to surprise people. Are ya proud of yourself? Okay, let's just move on to the next one on the list. I really do not like talking about the sequel trilogy. Okay, I feel like people are either gonna agree with me a lot or they're gonna be like, dude, there's no way you just did that. But, I don't know. I like the Attack of the Clones, but like, I don't know. Anakin and Padme's relationship stuff was just like so boring and dull, and every time I rewatch it, I'm just like, can we get the Geonosis, please? And then, like, I don't know, just some of it felt boring overall. I mean, it was good. It was a good movie. I liked it way more than the previous 2 movies, but I still was, I don't know. Every time I rewatch it, I don't know. It just doesn't hit as much as some of the other movies on this list. Though there are a lot more positives than there were for the other movies. Like, I loved Kenobi and Jango Fett. I loved them so much. They needed more screen time. Oh my gosh. Anytime they were on screen, it was awesome. Also, the climax on Geonosis was really good. Like, seeing all those Jedi fighting together, and then the clones come down with a Master Yoda. Beautiful. Absolute cinema. By the way, I know some people are going to be like, hey, you didn't mention Hayden Christensen's bad acting. I don't really blame his acting, y'all. Like, it was mainly George Lucas, I feel like, that, was giving such a bad direction, which I feel like raise your pitchforks. I said George Lucas gave bad direction for something. But, I mean, he kind of did. What was Hayden Christensen supposed to do with, I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating. Like, I don't even know how an actor could make that line work. So, don't blame him, guys. But don't blame George Lucas. It's a good movie. It's just not amazing like some of the other ones on this list. Now, let's move on to number 8. So, a negative about this movie, by the way, the further along we go, I feel like there's going to be less and less negatives, so I'm only going to go over a few here. But basically, it felt a lot similar to New Hope, but I was honestly, actually, that's not even a big complaint. I was fine with that. Like, it was a little safe, but, like, let them play it safe, y'all. This is a sequel trilogy. Keep it safe, man. Am I right, or am I right? And I will say, some people are like, dude, Han Solo, bro. He had a whole arc in the original trilogy, and then they just completely ruined that. I mean, they kind of did, but I actually really enjoyed him whenever he was on screen. Harrison Ford was doing amazing, as always. Like, yeah, sure, it was a problem, but it was nothing that actually bothered me. However, there were some good stuff in it that was actually pretty good, that, like, had no negatives. Like, it did a great job setting up for the sequel trilogy. Like, it made it look promising, as well as it made Finn's character arc seem promising. Like, the idea of a stormtrooper defecting and then becoming a Jedi or something, that is a genius 1 in a million idea, and sadly the other movies just never really, they never really did anything with it. I also loved Kylo's character in this. In my opinion, this is his best, personally. I love him in it all around. I actually really like this movie, more than a lot of people I feel like would, but I enjoy it. Now let's move on to number 7. Okay, Qui-Gon Jinn and Maul needed more screen time. I wish they had more screen time. I mean, honestly, well, actually, we didn't really need more screen time for Maul. I would have personally enjoyed it, but I mean, there's no way he was gonna live up to his animated counterpart. But still, it would have been nice to have a few more scenes with him and more dialogue. Dude, he barely talked in that movie. And a few things, okay, I thought more people would agree with me here, but when I showed this to my friend, he was like, dude, no way you said that. But a few things were boring and to just not stick with me. Like the Gungans versus the droid battle is like, I don't know, that's one of the hardest parts to rewatch. And Jar Jar, anytime I see him, I want to jump off a cliff. It's bad, y'all. Okay, but let's move on to some of the positives. The lightsaber fights, this showed the prequel will have the best lightsaber fights, and they deliver. This was the first one, the one with like Kenobi and like Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul. That one is amazing, dude. Liam Neeson was amazing as Qui-Gon Jinn. Loved him. And you always gotta be loving that pod racing, dude. Now this is pod racing. I don't know what that voice was, but I really enjoyed the movie, guys. Go watch it if you haven't. I liked it. I liked it better than the other ones. I will say, though, I don't know. This movie I used to really like, but now looking back on it, it misses some of the sauce. And y'all aren't going to believe what I put higher than it. A lot of people are going to hate this, but it's my list. I can't get it wrong. So let's move on to number 6. Solo, a Star Wars story no one asked for, yet I actually enjoyed. Take that, hater. Okay, no, actually, there were a few things I didn't like. I didn't love this movie, but like, I was not a huge fan of some of the other characters, like his girlfriend and whatnot. Like, I don't know, not all of them stuck for me, but it didn't really match his character in New Hope. Like, we were supposed to believe he was like a scoundrel, smuggler, whatever, but like in the movie, he's a good-hearted guy, so it makes his arc in the original trilogy a little less, good. But I will say there are a lot more positives than there are negatives, in my opinion. Like, all the actors portraying younger versions of the characters did great, especially the actor playing Lando. I love his Lando so much, y'all. And I also really enjoyed Beckett in the movie. I don't know if a lot of people even liked him, but I mean, I did. I don't know why, I did. I thought he was fun. And I think that's a good thing for the movie. I thought the movie was fun overall. I don't think it's a bad movie, guys. I like watching it. It's fun. Is it good? Is it like really good? No, probably not. But it's fun. I like it. It's on my number 6. Let's move on to number 5. Before I start, I'm just going to say there's no negatives from now on, because if I did talk about the negatives in these movies, it would just be me, like, nitpicking. I'm just going to talk about the positives and stuff. 5 is New Hope. You've already saw that. And I think there's a lot of reasons for this, but the only ones I'm really going to go over is, A, it started it all and did amazing world building. It made me so invested in this universe the first time I watched it, and I'm still invested to this universe to this day. And it's all thanks to Star Wars: A New Hope starting it all. Great job. And B, the characters were phenomenal in my opinion. Luke was amazing in this movie. Kenobi was amazing in this movie. Vader, I really liked in this movie. He passed the Vader vibe check. Grand Moff Tarkin, oh my gosh, do I love that man. And there's just so many. Han Solo, Leia, C-3PO, the list goes on. I like New Hope. Everyone likes New Hope. It's a good movie. Go watch it if you haven't. Okay, but there is some that is better than it, so let's move on to number 4. This one I feel like is a really controversial opinion, because I feel like a lot of people actually aren't huge fans of Rogue One. Personally, I love this movie, guys. I don't know, I actually really enjoyed this movie. And like I said, because of the list placing, I like it a bit more than New Hope. And especially because after watching Andor, which if you have not seen, oh my gosh, go watch it right now. This movie it benefited from that show so much, and just every time I rewatch it, I feel like it gets better. The characters I actually really enjoyed, and not gonna lie, by the way, if you wanted to avoid spoilers, click off now. But seeing them all get killed off, like, I watched this when I was like 9 or something in theaters, so that was a little jarring, seeing all the main characters get killed off. Usually they all have a happy ending, and technically they did, but like, I don't know, they made a real rebel sacrifice in the end, and I really enjoyed that. This movie is so lucky to have the best scene in all of Star Wars. There is a close second, but I think this one has the best scene of all time. And that, of course, is Vader just killing dudes in the hallway. Oh my gosh, that is phenomenal. I can't speak, bro. It's a good movie, though, and that scene is amazing, y'all. Go seek out this movie if you haven't seen it. Don't listen to people saying it's mid or whatever. I liked it. Hopefully you'll like it. I think it's a good movie all around. Sorry. I cannot talk today, y'all. Okay, but after saying all that, let's move on to number 3. Okay, I love Luke in this movie. He is great in this movie. Last Jedi. This is how you do Luke Skywalker. Him saving Darth Vader is like the most heroic Luke Skywalker thing ever. I love it. It's amazing. Give me more of it. That's what I wanted for the sequels, and I just never got it. But I love him in this movie, y'all. And all the characters really had great arcs. I feel like Han Solo going from a careless smuggler to a, rebel willing to sacrifice everything. That was great. I liked Leia. Everything was great. It was just such a good movie, y'all. I like this movie a lot. It also had the perfect ending, in my opinion, for the saga. I mean, I still would have wanted more, but, like, it still had the best ending. Like, it's so satisfying. Him burning Darth Vader's body, the ghosts popping up. Some people aren't a huge fan of the whole Hayden Christensen getting added. Personally, I don't mind it. I do think it's kind of but still, I actually don't mind it, and sometimes I even enjoy it. I think, oh yeah, good job, good going, Lucas. But other times, I'm just like, But, it really depends on the day for me. But overall, it's not that bad of a decision, guys. And this is a great ending for the saga, which is something Rise of Skywalker had no idea how to do, but we're already done talking about that, and I do not want to go back to talking about it. So let's move on to number 2. I love the locations in this movie, like Hoth, Dagobah, Cloud City, etc. Like, I think the locations in this movie are iconic, and I love them. And I wish we had spent 10 hours at each of them. I love them. Also, Luke in this movie, his training was great character development, especially being taught by Yoda, which added a lot to it. Like, I love this because, like, I feel like in the sequel trilogy, Rey kind of just naturally learns everything. She doesn't really have to put a lot of work into it. She immediately knows how to fly the Millennium Falcon, how to use a lightsaber, how to use the Force. But in this, Luke has to train, dude, and it's so satisfying and so amazing. I like it. And Yoda was an amazing teacher. He's like that one chill teacher who everyone knows is on drugs, but like, he gives out easy homework so you don't complain. But yeah, it's great. It's great. Also, this movie has so much iconic quotes. I don't think it has the most, because the next one on the list, number 1, has the most iconic quotes, I would say. But this one has 2 of the most iconic quotes. I can't say iconic, dude. But anyway, like, ones like, do or do not, there is no try, or, no, I am your father. Quotes like that are so darn iconic. Everyone knows them. Everyone loves them. And it's all because of Empire Strikes Back, one of the greatest sequels to a movie of all time. Well, not sequels, like a second movie, the second movies are always amazing. Shrek 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Empire Strikes Back, Zootopia 2. I'm joking. Okay, but let's move on to number 1, the one you've all been waiting for, and the only one I haven't talked about yet. First off, the lightsaber fight scenes are amazing. Have you seen Palpatine vs. Yoda? Or Kenobi vs. Anakin? Or Kenobi and Anakin fighting Count Dooku? There are just so many good ones. And watching this after the sequel, it makes you go, dude, that was pretty dope. Also, Anakin is at his best in this movie, in my opinion. Like, the acting was great. I think the writing wasn't even that bad. I like it. I liked it overall. And his character arc, beautiful. I can't even put into words how good it is that he goes from a Jedi to a Sith Lord. It's a good arc. It's a very good arc. I liked him in this movie a lot, and he was so entertaining. Perfect. Also, Order 66, dude, peak cinema. Oh my gosh, I liked Order 66. Like, just seeing the Jedi get gunned down by their clone troopers. After watching Clone Wars, by the way, this makes this more heartbreaking and better because of, all the stuff that Clone Wars adds to it. But still, it's just like, it's such a good scene, dude. Such a good scene, and it's like, I really like that scene. But overall, I could talk about this movie forever. Like, all the iconic quotes, like, do it. Hello there. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. And so much more. It's perfect. It's perfect peak Star Wars. Love it. I know some people might have issues with it. I don't. Overall, 10 out of 10 movie. My favorite Star Wars movie. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, and if this video gets enough views and enough subscribers, I might actually rank all the Star Wars shows, because I am a rare species of human who have seen all the Star Wars shows. And I will rank those if you guys want me to. Anyways, this video's been going on for way too long, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye now.